What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the Miss Teen Crypto Show. I hope everybody is having a lovely Tuesday today. It's good to see everyone. I think it's been maybe a week since the last Miss Teen Crypto Show, and I couldn't handle it. I was having Miss Teen Crypto Show withdrawals. If you guys are new to the show, hi, my name is Randi. It's really nice to meet you. I hope everybody is doing swell. If you're new or if you're just hanging here because you're always here, it's nice to see you guys. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share the stream out with friends and say hello in the chat, because the more we engage, the more we participate in the stream, the more people YouTube shows it to, and the more people that could join in on the zesty good vibes. I'm not going to waste any time. I want to talk to today's awesome guest. He's been a guest before, but of course he had to come back because he's the legendary Rice TVx. Hello, how are you?
I had to coordinate and unmute myself. I'm great. Thanks for having me back on the show. I really appreciate it. I'm looking forward to today's conversation. And before we get started, I definitely want to encourage people, if they haven't already, to check out the conversation that me and you just recently had right before you went to Jamaica over on Rice TVx. So I encourage people to check that video out if they have not already.
Yeah, that was a great conversation, and thank you for bringing me back on your channel as well. We've been friends for so long now. How long has it been? I think you met me when I was 17.
The first time I met you in person, I believe, was at one of Bitcoin Ben's meetups in
that was my first
2020.
ever.
I met your dad prior to that, but I don't think I met you prior to that particular meetup. We had talked, and you hadn't been on my channel because of your age, and because I have a kind of an old school upbringing. I wanted to make sure that your dad was cool with me bringing you on the show. So I wanted his permission before I even invited you on, because I didn't want anything, I didn't want to be disrespectful. But your dad's really cool people. I was glad to meet you. And then, we've seen each other several times over the past few years. I got to meet your little sister, and,
the whole family.
You're definitely a part of the whole, our clique, our family.
Yeah, 100%.
You're a bro.
A bro for sure. Oh, bros. Damn. So it's been such like a long road, but also so short too. I'm literally almost 20 now. I met you when I was 17. Bitcoin Ben's event was actually the first one I ever went to. October 30th, 2020. Legendary date, non-fungible date, and NFT. We should start we should have had a POAP for that. Oh, if only we thought that far. But Chris, you're amazing, man. And if you want to actually give a quick summary of how you got into crypto and like how this all started for you, essentially, if people missed our last conversation.
Yeah, well, I mean, when I first got involved in crypto, I finally made the step in early 2017. I had looked at crypto prior to that, just never really cared about making investments, never really cared about stocks, Wall Street, anything to that effect. I started going to school for business administration, and it started changing my perspective on what money and what currency is, how banking works. And that gave me a really good insight as to when I came back to what Bitcoin and blockchain technology represent. It really gave me an answer to get away from the problems that I had been seeing with the traditional legacy system. And, like most people, I will say, though, when I first got involved in crypto, I made several mistakes that I very much learned from very quickly. And, one of those is being greedy, thinking that somehow I'm going to get rich quick and I'm going to be a millionaire or something like that overnight. And a lot of things started changing within the first 6 months of me investing in crypto as far as my ideology. When I started coming back to earth and getting away from the greed aspect, I ultimately did some multi-level marketing things, thinking that I was going to do well with that, and lost 1.4 Bitcoin in 2017. And so that was part of my inspiration for wanting to even start a channel, like with the education, to kind of try to steer people away from making some of the mistakes that I've made, because emotion comes into this very heavily.
Yes.
But then, like some of the things that I was learning in school about the banking system, about how money works and currency works, and how just the entire legacy debt-based system works, it started to strengthen my relationship with these technologies and what they represent, with that creative destruction, being able to give us the power, take the power away from the central banks, from the governments, and put it back in the hands of we the people. And I still feel like that. And even with everything that's been going on with cryptocurrency lately, we're shaking out the traditional arm of crypto, like
Yes.
the legacy system that's tried to come in and be a third party intermediary for whatever service they're offering. And that wasn't what crypto was designed for. And I was even starting to get, over the past few years, a little sickened at what crypto has started to become. You know, seeing some of the founders of Ethereum writing white papers for central bank digital currencies, CBDCs, and the chain link working with the Swift system to try to upgrade what they're doing with the Swift system with smart contracts. It's one of those fine lines of, you know, I really don't like seeing those things happen, but unfortunately they will happen. But it's good to see this shakeout taking place, because I really want to see crypto get back to that ethos of peer-to-peer, because we don't need exchanges. You know, like the whole idea for me investing in something like Bitcoin, I mean, I do try to take profits when I'm smart enough to do so during the cycles.
Yeah.
But ultimately, my intention is not to sell Bitcoin for US dollars, is to use the Bitcoin to purchase things, or use the other cryptocurrencies to purchase things in our everyday living and make this our way of life. You know, one of the first people that was really doing that, who I had a lot of admiration for doing it, quitting his job and going all in on crypto and living on crypto, is our mutual friend Ken Bozak.
Yep.
You know, and he was a big start with me starting my YouTube channel, because I was procrastinating about starting my channel. This is in 2017. And I ultimately didn't make my videos until January of 2018, early January. And Ken had invited me on his channel for Not Another Bitcoin podcast. And I didn't have a YouTube channel. I wasn't involved in any projects. And I really didn't want to go on as just somebody who was in cryptocurrency.
Yeah.
So it really kind of lit a fire under me to start my channel up. And then after that interview, like within 2 months, we had started a show together.
Wow.
Called Last Week in Crypto, that went through a couple different incarnations with a couple different groups of people. And then I went full time with what I do. I don't usually give like the full story, but I started going full time with my videos, putting out a minimum of 4 videos a week in May of 2019. And then January of 2020, stopped working in any sort of job type situation, and full time in what I do now. And I have 2 channels, Rice TVx covering crypto and economics. And then I have my new channel, Rice Against the Grain, which goes down the rabbit hole of fringe topics, conspiracies, law studies, spirituality, hidden alternative history, and stuff like that.
That's beautiful. You're beautiful, Rice. You really are. And I love your voice too. And no wonder, like, you know, you have your following on the YouTubes and everything. Your voice is so easy to listen to. Like, there's a few people that I could just sit and listen to. You're like ASMR. I think I actually said that when I was live a few days ago when I was away, and I was just like, you guys got to listen to Rice and his voice, because it's just amazing.
I think I heard that. But I mean, I'm equally impressed with you, because I mean, I've seen what happened, you know, like when you very first started. We talked about this on the interview that you did with me on my channel. Yeah. So I really encourage people to check that out, so we don't have to rehash the entirety of it. But I'm proud of your progress. I mean, you stepped up, and you've, as far as like in the crypto media space, I mean, you have far surpassed the things that I have done as far as being able to get more mainstream attention. And I understand it. I mean, you definitely have more mainstream appeal than I do. I like to consider myself to be a little bit of sandpaper, a little rough around the edges.
No, you're amazing. I really do love you, man. And we've gone through such a big journey, and we've evolved the past few years, the both of us. But it's good that we maintain our mutual connection and stay zesty with it. You know what I mean? And you know, I know you brought up like a lot of really good points when you were just speaking about so many things, and I think that people are really losing the ethos, like you were saying, of what crypto is, this whole revolution. And I feel as though a lot of people are focusing on the speculation of Bitcoin and Bitcoin price. And I think that's what the media focuses on more, rather than the revolution of why Bitcoin's here. Because even though Bitcoin went from 69K to, what is it, 16 around now?
Yeah, it's
Bitcoin still works.
I mean, it's dipped down below, like it's 2 year
I know it went
low.
to 15 something, and
like 15.6, 15.5 ish.
It wasn't something I like to see, but you know, at the same time, the blocks on the blockchain are still going. People can still transact. Miners are still mining. So why is everybody so upset? It's because everybody's so distracted by the dollar signs in their face.
Well, and I mean, here's the thing. There's freedom of choice. And I got to respect other people's decisions for why they got involved in crypto. And not everybody has gotten involved in crypto for the reasons that I did. And I kind of had, like I said, I had that greed initially anyways. So, I mean, when a lot of people are thinking about making more US dollar. But I mean, if you're in this for the change of this technology, I like to say I'm not in it for the cha-ching change. I'm not in it for the change, but I'm in it for the change.
Ooh, I like that.
Because it will bring change to the world. I mean, blockchain technology alone will disrupt many industries that need to take away that intermediary, that third party.
Yes.
The ticket industry, the music industry, anything that becomes, there's just a plethora of things that, as far as health, medicine, supply chains. So it becomes very dominant in that factor. And then when you have something like a decentralized cryptocurrency, something, and I'll use two in particular that are designed to be currencies, designed to be peer-to-peer spent, Bitcoin and Litecoin. And, I'm really happy that Litecoin has gotten a lot more attention lately because a lot of people have been dogging it because they say the project is boring, and a lot of people want to still kind of harp on Charlie for selling his bags. But I understand it, and he was transparent about it. But beyond that, Litecoin is the oldest chain with no problems, zero problems. Something also, and this is going to be interesting. You should go back and watch it today if you haven't, because I caught part of it this morning. BitBoy was live, and he had blockchain backer on, and they were going through and talking about different cryptocurrencies. And one of the projects they were talking about was Litecoin. And a Litecoin bulb went off on BitBoy today. And he's trying to work on some legislation.
Yeah.
And he's also was told via blockchain backer, there's several different cryptocurrencies so far over the past few years that have not hit their past cycle low. One being Litecoin, Chainlink being another. And I do like Chainlink, regardless of what I said about the Swift thing. Mm-hmm. I mean, they do have a relevancy. Matic, Polygon. Polygon. So those three coins in particular have not hit their cycle low, the last cycle low. And that's a good performance piece. Now, what I try to tell people, one, with Litecoin, you have what they call MWeb extension, which is a member-wemble extension that allows for fungibility and privacy. Now, it's an extension. It's not on-chain, because if it was on-chain, automatically it would get delisted because it becomes a privacy coin. And that's an issue for exchanges and governments and regulation. So I understand why they did the sidechain thing. Then they have the Omni layer, which they call Omni Lite.
Yes. On
Bitcoin, the Omni layer ran Tether. So before Tether started going in an ERC20 direction and other different coins, it was mainly on the Bitcoin blockchain, or only on the Bitcoin blockchain, using the Omni layer. So they brought that to Litecoin since the code fork. And the big thing that I try to tell people, so I mean, I guess you could do colored tokens. You can create tokens, coins, and NFTs via the Omni Lite layer. But money itself, currency, is not supposed to be exciting. Like, I don't know too many people that get really excited about, just unless you're greedy and you're just wanting more of it. Like, just talking about the concept of money generally will put people to sleep. It's like not something that people seem to have too much real true interest in. True. So why do you expect something that works well as money, as currency, to be anything less than boring? And that should be a good sign too, because as a cryptocurrency that you can use for peer-to-peer payments, being that it's the longest running blockchain with zero problems. I mean, when I say zero problems, Bitcoin has had multitudes of problems.
It's true.
Before Litecoin's existence that some people aren't even aware of. I mean, 100%. Technically, the Bitcoin blockchain is not immutable because they've gone back and fixed things. There was an inflation bug that was allowing for the creation of coins.
Yep.
So Litecoin,
people don't even know that.
And then even Ethereum itself is, now it would be really hard today to change something on the Bitcoin blockchain. But back in the early days when there were less nodes, less miners,
it was easier
less
to
people
manipulate.
Involved, well, it was easier for the community to come to a consensus to fix this, which is what happened with Ethereum as well, with the fork that the original Ethereum chain is Ethereum Classic, and Ethereum is the fork of Ethereum, the original Ethereum. And that was because there was some sort of a hack within their DAO or something to that effect, and funds were stolen. I'm not exactly 100% sure if it was an inflation bug, but again, Litecoin, oldest chain that exists, zero problems, because it was able to learn from all the different problems that Bitcoin had. So by the time that Charlie had taken the original Bitcoin code and decided to change the code and modify it, kind of making it silver to gold. It's interesting. It's interesting.
It really is.
It's interesting to see BitBoy change his perspective a little bit.
Because a few weeks ago, he was even talking about Litecoin and how it was like,
Even DZ the other day, because when I was on there Friday on Around the Blockchain.
Can't with that dude.
A few weeks ago, he wanted to dog the Litecoin Summit because there wasn't a big turnout. But then I had a chance to really think about it. So the next time I was on, I was like, I wanted to go ahead and mention that it wasn't a large turnout, but it was a really good quality event. And it was definitely quality over quantity. And I would want that versus just a mediocre conference. So even though it wasn't a huge turnout, we're also at not only in a bear market, but we're also experiencing economic turmoil in the United States and around the world. So people that would normally travel don't have necessarily the funds to travel.
100%.
So there was a lot of different factors that came into
especially
it.
Especially in Vegas.
Typical. Yeah.
Vegas is crazy.
Vegas
man.
is not cheap.
Not at all. Also, shout out to BidMoon. BidMoon, thank you for your $5 super chat. Much appreciated. So much love for you. I
didn't mean to go on that big rant about.
No.
Like,
this is your show too.
I felt it needed it.
This is a 50-50 show right now. This is a fireside chat. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Kisses all day, man. I agree, but I disagree on the boring thing. I think in terms of like marketing and what could be done with Litecoin, I just think that there's so much that could be done that's still like, I am such a strong believer in Litecoin and proof of work in general. I think proof of work is something that we're truly taking for granted right now, and something that I think is going to come into play later on. Proof of work chains are definitely going to rise to the top really quick, especially with what's going on with like proof of stake and kind of some censorship that could potentially bring blah, 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 a whole rabbit hole. However, I think Litecoin in particular, it's not boring. I don't even think Bitcoin is boring. And people are like, oh, Bitcoin's a boomer coin. Dude, we're not even 14 years deep in this space. And you're saying it's a boomer coin? We're even... The internet is so new. We couldn't even post videos on Instagram more than like 3-4 years ago. Come on, guys. Like the way this all evolves every single day. It changes every single day. Bitcoin is still so new. People don't even know what it is yet. I hit the streets all the time. People don't even know what Bitcoin is. And that's bullish, not bearish. I say that because we have so much adoption ahead of us. Meanwhile, it's done so much. Litecoin has a limited supply. It's faster than Bitcoin, easier to transact. It's available everywhere Bitcoin's available. Plus, MWeb is going to save lives. It's going to help so many people. That whole trucker thing that happened in Canada, MWeb could have solved all of that. It was mind-blowing, right? Even though it wasn't, I don't think it was like ready MWeb at the time, but it was when it was first coming out. And then OmniLite, Litecoin NFTs, Litecoin is listed everywhere. It would be great for them to capitalize on Litecoin NFTs because it's more accessibility. When I was under 18, what was on the Bitcoin ATMs for the most part? Always Bitcoin, Litecoin, and others. And those others varied.
What was on Coinbase when you first got involved? When you could have an account, what was on Coinbase?
It was Bitcoin, Litecoin, ETH, and they started adding coins by the time I turned 18.
Right, but you saw the original three. I shouldn't say the original three. The original was Bitcoin,
the blue
then
chips,
Ethereum, then Litecoin.
Yeah. But bottom line, I think Litecoin is super zesty, and I don't think it should be marketing as boring because it's not.
No, well, I get what you're saying, 100%, and I think Litecoin Foundation should hire you for marketing.
People have told me that.
I think that would be a great idea, 100%. Because I get what you're saying, but when it comes to the comparison of the Cardano blockchain, if you look at the different things that you can do on the Cardano blockchain versus the Litecoin blockchain, that's what I mean as far as boring.
Yeah.
Like there's not as much, like there's no DeFi, there's not a lot of other elements that you see, but I'm not saying it needs it either.
Yeah. No, it's a good point. It's a good point. And I think even Litecoin could, capitalize on the whole DeFi aspect of things. I just think we're still really early with that. And I think hopefully they get more developers on this. I just think that OmniLite could take things so far. Because like I said, even at Litecoin Summit, like OmniLite NFTs everywhere and, just different things that you could do. Like I would love to start a Litecoin NFT collection, but I think it's a little hard right now considering you have to download Litecoin Core. But again, we're still really early. There's so much potential. Litecoin's not boring at all. I think it's super zesty. And I hope people stop saying it's boring because the sound money aspect is boring.
I will do my best, but I mean, as far as just
the sound money aspect is boring. Yeah. Right. I get it. But
and that's what I mean. That's what I mean. You said it correct. Sound money aspect.
Yeah, like the OmniLite part, the MWeb part, and how fast and easy it is. I think Gen Z could be using Litecoin, but whatever. I'll end my rant there because I do love the foundation. I do love Charlie Lee. I actually do have a podcast with him. He was on here twice on this channel. So if you want to check out Talking MWeb with Charlie Lee, that was the title of the last video we were on. We were talking all things MWeb. He explained it so well. Charlie's such a sweetheart, man.
That was the video that YouTube took down, right?
Yes, it was, and I fought like hell to get it back.
Bad girl.
Yeah, they're like, you're dangerous. And I was like, no, YouTube, I'm fine. I'm just trying to help people. They're like, okay. Imagine Gurr, like I'm dangerous.
That's hilarious because you're what, 5 foot tall?
Literally, yeah. I think I'm 5'1.25" nowadays. So I'm so tall. I'm so scary. I could beat everyone up. Anyway, I think again, a lot of people are losing the ethos of cryptocurrency. One thing that is going on, rocking everyone's world, is FTX, and it's horrible. What the actual F is going on right now? It's just been 2 weeks of just major SBF chaos. And I don't think I've ever seen a subject in cryptocurrency be talked about as much as this. Constantly, the past 2 weeks, crypto Twitter, FTX, SBF, crypto Twitter, FTX. Like, I'm over it. I'm kind of over it.
I can tell you, like myself included and others, we don't want to talk about it. It's just one of those things that needs to be covered in detail because of how much it affects the market impact. It would be really easy just to kind of blow it off and not really give them any spotlight and just move on. But we're not even really sure right now if like 100% of all the companies that had exposure and how deep this contagion, which meaning the aftermath, the effects of if there were companies, projects that were invested, had exposure, whether leaving funds and actively using the exchange or whatever. There's question about Genesis, the institutional lending company, and what's going to be happening with that. It's a subsidiary of Digital Currency Group, and Digital Currency Group owns a lot in crypto. I know that you have watched a lot of Bitcoin Ben's content, and in the past he has covered Digital Currency Group pretty thorough. Depending on how this goes and how they scathe through the situation, I'll definitely be covering more about them because I don't look at them as necessarily being 100% good guys in this space. I don't think the intentions of the Digital Currency Group are good, but we're at a really pivotal time because we're just not really sure again, like how much this is going to bring down the markets. And even before we went live, me and you were talking. I try to be as much of a realist. I don't try to tell people what I think they want to hear, which is Bitcoin to the moon. I try to be as much of a realist as I can. And I really feel like based off the economic climate alone, just globally, we have more downward action to go. I don't know if it's going to be because of more issues of insolvency from companies, if it's going to be exchanges halting withdrawals. It could be a multitude of things within the cryptocurrency space, but then it could be a multitude of things otherwise. So, I mean, we are looking at the collapse of our fiat system. We're seeing inflation going rampant all around the world. The United States is continuing to raise interest rates when the UN is warning against it because of how much of an effect it's having on other nations, including our ally nations. I mean, we've seen what happened in Great Britain with the inflation hitting the British pound and how that's affected. I think it lost like 25% value at one point overnight. And at that point, you had seen an increase in trades in England with Bitcoin, and the British pound as trading pairs increased like over 1,100%. So, you know, people are seeing, I think, ultimately that crypto is going to be that lifeboat for people to get away from the problems that we're currently experiencing with fiat money. But I think it's still going to take a little bit more time, and the collapse of more of these fiat currencies taking place globally. And true. I feel like because we're still the world reserve currency with the US dollar, that we're still kind of the king of the hill. And it's not necessarily a good hill to be on, but we're not going to feel the effects that other nations are feeling quite as much, unless right now the Fed decides to ultimately reverse course, which as of now doesn't really look like it's going to happen. People are speculating a 50 basis point rate hike, which is like 0.5%. And then hopefully they're thinking that the Fed will taper off and maybe stop raising interest rates and just leave them where they're at, see what the effect's going to be. But it's just really uncertain time. So I'm sorry, what were you going to say?
I don't even know anymore because I have like 5,000 thoughts going through my head. I'm thinking about inflation. I'm thinking about some of these VCs, especially what FTX was tied up in with Alameda, which no one even talked about. I never even heard the name Alameda Research before. Like, of course, like I like saw it, but no one was talking about it. It was not a subject. No one was, and what they had their hands in. And then what I realized is now with all of these exchanges, they're like, oh, proof of reserves, yet their reserves are on other exchanges, and then there's VCs tied up in this, and then if something goes down, then this VC goes down and is broke, and then if this VC is broke, then this project is fricked up. Yeah. And it's to me, it's a lot of just a circle of money. And where does it end? Where does it all really go? And then the FTX thing collapsed, and then there was a hacker, right? There's a hacker. Where did all the money go from there? Like, ETH was being converted
you
to
heard
Bitcoin.
About apparently the Bahamian SEC or government or something had told Sam Bankman-Fried to
I don't know if that's real.
I don't know either. We don't know.
What is going on?
What is truth?
Bitcoin is truth. The blockchain is truth, because that's all we can really see. That's all we really know.
The one thing I would encourage people to do is, if you're not actively trading, get your cryptocurrency off exchanges.
Yes.
Put them in a wallet that you possess and control your private key. 100%.
Please.
Whatever the situation whether it's a ledger, whether it's an Arculus, whether it's a Ballet, whether it's a wallet on your phone. But I don't encourage you to use a phone that you're actively using as a normal everyday device. I have two phones. One that's got a SIM card and one that doesn't. So this one has a SIM card. No crypto information on this one. This one has no SIM card. And I have all my crypto stuff, including my two-factor. I'm like saying 6FA. What the hell is 6FA? 2FAs on this phone as well, because it doesn't have any way for people to hack it unless I am using it and doing stuff like downloading things that I shouldn't be downloading. So I don't use this phone for surfing the internet. I do it like some YouTube things and crypto.
Just very little.
Yeah.
Very little.
So, and then also the other thing is too, just because of the uncertainty of the exposure of companies, any custodial service that you're utilizing, I would encourage you to get your cryptocurrency in your control just to be safe. It's better to be safe than sorry and have a situation where you can't withdraw funds, especially if it's a large amount of money that you may need.
Yep.
So
I agree 100%. I believe even Ballet is going to have a Black Friday sale. I may or may not be posting about it to let you guys know. But anyway, so yeah, I think it's very important to get your crypto off the exchanges. I've been preaching that for God knows how long. Yeah, Ballet Wallet. It's so easy to use. It's my first one.
I want to do a video about wallets, and I'm thinking about giving this away.
You should. It's so cute. I love it. I love how they make custom wallets for every event that they go to. It's like very zesty and special.
Really cool. Have you seen the business cards?
Oh yes, I believe I'm gonna get some too. Like nice, really custom ones. And if people see them
too myself. So I have I have Bobby Lee's.
Yes,
he put 0.0001 Bitcoin on this one, and then Crypto Jack I met. This one has 0.1 Litecoin.
Yes, I have one from Bobby and from Charlie.
So yeah, it's got like the
I love
public
it.
key and stuff on the back, and then you could peel off, and then but it's a typical business card.
It's really nice.
Cool idea.
Yeah, I think it's definitely really cool. You could double your business card as a crypto gift card. It's good. It could be somebody's wallet from now on. I think it's pretty sick. I'm a fan. I am a fan of Ballet, and I'm a fan of self custody because, guys, we need to be our own bank. Ballet was actually the first wallet I ever had before even a trust wallet or anything like that. I had a Ballet wallet. My dad brought it home from Litecoin 2019. And he's like, oh, you should use this. And I was like, frick is this thing? And then I started playing with it. It was pretty cool.
Did you see Bozak's video from, I think, 2019 with Ballet Booth?
No, I didn't.
You should look that one up. So I'm a big fan of the Pro Series where you have a password protection.
Yes, those are
But
good.
I'm not necessarily a huge fan of them in the capacity that I was just showing. So like with this. So this is my public key right here.
Yeah.
So I don't have a problem showing this. People can send me crypto if they want.
Only Bitcoin to that address, though.
Yeah, but only Bitcoin. So once I peel away this sticker, my private key is exposed, and this is really kind of done. Unless you want to seal it back up and try to figure out ways of using other stickers to make sure nobody else has tried to look at your private key.
Yeah.
So the Pro Series one I like better because it doesn't have this kind of option to it.
This is more for newbies.
Yeah,
people new to
but
crypto.
It's training wheel. So I mean, but you have to upgrade. It's just like the most simplest basic. If you're going to use it as a long-term savings account, it's perfect. You know, as long as you don't plan on peeling back and exposing your private key, because then to me it's just like you're just like it's like leaving your
It's
ATM
defeating the
card
purpose
with your PIN card with your PIN number on it.
What I do like with the Ballet stuff is like I sometimes I use it as a hot because I have like a bunch of them. So I have one that I could use as like a hot wallet. So what I like about it is when I try to do a swap or I'm sending crypto out of the wallet, that you do have to scan the private key, enter that passphrase that you scratch off at the bottom of the card, and that's the only way you could transact. So it's not like if someone steals my phone, they somehow get in it that they could just transact and move whatever they want. So I thought that was pretty cool too.
Have you seen the Arculus wallet?
Yes, I have Arculus wallets. I did have one. And then they gave me a bunch at like Bitcoin 2022. Those are really cool too. You just like tap those on the phone. There's another one that oh my God.
So it's basically cold storage, but it has a recovery phrase. So if people can see my phone, you have to, this is the wallet. I can't do anything until I take the card behind my phone and
tap it. Just like tap and pay, my friends. Yeah, it's super cool.
I had to leave it there.
There it goes.
So yeah, then it pulls up your information. You can add coins. You can see I have some cryptocurrency on there. A little bit of Bitcoin.
Bags exposed. You're so rich.
That's actually, I didn't know it got sent already. I just did a withdrawal from Fold. I earn Bitcoin with my Fold app.
Oh yeah, that's good. I don't think I could can I do Fold? I think I could do Fold in New York. I have a pen from them.
You guys need to move.
I love Fold. I have their pen. Like I was at Bitcoin 22 and I was like, wow, these pens are awesome. So I like stole a few. Thanks, Fold.
They got good swag. I have a Fold water
I have stickers.
bottle. I got a water bottle and a Fold towel at Bitcoin 21.
Yeah. Oh,
pretty cool. And a bag.
Ozzy said in the chat, what's wrong with the Ledger wallets or Trezor? It's a one-off expense and no-brainer. No, we like those too. This is like newbie wallets, though.
Yeah.
These are like
I got all
Ledger
my
is cool.
Here.
I've played around with Ledgers and everything like that. There's like cool wallets. There's what is it called? Cold Card. I think the other one.
Wallet.
Cold Card.
It's like a credit card.
Yeah, I like Cool Wallet. I think it's super sick. What's the other one? Cold Card.
Yes,
Cold Card wallet. Yeah, I've heard of that one. It looks the Cold Card one looks like a calculator. I haven't used that one myself, but I know what's his why am I forgetting his name right now?
I think the Cold Card you can see you can see stuff on the back of the card itself. So you can it has a screen on it.
Yeah, see that one's super sick, and you need to have Bluetooth connected and everything to that in order to use it.
Right. So there's different pros and cons depending on the convenience and what kind of styles you like, but My go-to and the one that I would ultimately suggest to people is a ledger. But if people can't afford it, then I think I mentioned it to you, what I call the poor man hardware wallet or poor man wallet, poor man's crypto storage.
Paper wallets.
Well, you can do that, but you can also, if you, like I was saying, if you got a burner phone,
that's the best.
A tablet that you don't use, and that when I say don't use, you don't surf the internet and things like that. And same with the computer. If you have a computer that you don't use, and what I really encourage people to do is to take everything back to factory reset it back to its original settings, so it doesn't have anything on there from anything previous. Download whatever wallet you want to utilize. Send the cryptocurrency. Turn the Wi-Fi off. Make sure you don't have any SIM card in it, whether or not it's turned on or not, whether it's active or not. I still just take it out just for safety.
Yeah.
Because that's a lot of the problems that people have been having with phones is hacks of SIM cards and stuff.
That's so scary. You have like the whole like wallet portfolio out
gives
here.
Them to me. I got the key over here.
Dead. What's the other one that was?
There's EliPal, which is really cool.
Yes, they're really cool.
Your dad probably got one of those from 2019 at Litecoin.
What's the other one that is like a little USB
cool device?
Oh, what's that one?
This one's the EliPal.
Oh, yes.
It's got a metal backing. I got one that they sent me that has my logo on the back of it. They did a custom print one for me.
Oh, that's so zesty.
Several years ago. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
EliPal, what the frick, man? Where's my custom wallet? I'm just joking.
Reach out to him.
I think I have spoken to him in the past. What's the other one? What is it? CoinKite or something? Or what was the one that literally looks like a little USB? I know Ken was a big fan of those. He gave me one.
They're called, why is it called?
I have one in the other room.
It's got diamond, open dime.
Open dime. Yes. Dime. That one's
He had one hanging from
his
hat from a little bit.
Yes, and I think he lost it.
But the open dime, it's cool, but it can be like, it can be damaged in heat, water. There's different things because it's just a USB. Old. And the way it is, if you plug the USB into your computer, it will show you your public key information, a QR scanner, and all that, so you can send. But then what you have to do to get your private key is
you have to break it.
There's something you have to puncture a hole, and once you puncture that hole, it's kind of like taking off the sticker
on the Ballet wallet.
The Ballet wallet, yeah.
Yeah.
So the keep key is Shapeshift had bought this, and it's usable for like their exchange and holding cryptocurrencies. I don't really like the Keep Key or Trezor as much as I like the Ledger Nano X's, but that's the Trezor.
Yeah, that's clean. Guys, if you have a favorite crypto wallet, comment it in the chat, in the live chat. And also, share the stream out on Twitter and invite your favorite wallet to come in and join. We would like to hear from them as well.
Yes, they can make custom-made wallets for us, and we will promote and pimp your wallets.
And we'll pimp out all the wallets. There's so many that are out there, all really good stuff. But the most important thing is to do your own research. Please Google wallets. Please Google what you're into. There's just so much going on. And, when I was away, a lot of people knew what crypto was in Jamaica. Like, it was actually insane. More people I talked to there knew what Bitcoin was than people I approach in Times Square.
It's probably all the tourists, though. I would imagine.
No, and they didn't have Bitcoin wallets, but they knew what it was. A few of them had like Binance. Oh my God, I just broke something. A few of them had Binance accounts.
My friend Kevin Moore has gone there a couple times. You might have met Kevin.
Oh, I love Kevin. He's such a sweet dude. A Canadian.
He's probably promoted cryptocurrency to every Jamaican out there, especially the ones that partake in the herbs.
Yeah, that partake in the herbs. I mean, the majority take part in the herbs, but it's a really nice thing. And I gave like one of the people that worked there $10 in Bitcoin, $5 in Litecoin, and then I was planning. I'm gonna give a few other crypto when they hit me up with or when their wallet's ready. But yeah, I was onboarding a bunch of them, and there was one security guard that I met was like full on into crypto, was showing me like his stuff on the ledger, and I was just like so happy to finally find people that were like talking about Bitcoin and crypto and talking about like the madness that was going on. But there is a lot of madness going on. And of course, like we were saying, you have to keep your coins in your wallet. Don't keep it on the exchange. I don't give a frick. If you're actively trading, then yeah, do whatever you want.
Monarch wallet. It's a good wallet.
Monarch is good too.
Good wallet on a phone.
I really do like
again,
them.
Burner device.
I really do like
Monarch. They have
Monarch.
a desktop version as well.
Yeah, I was gonna say I do think they have that. I love Monarch. They're very easy. They're very easy to set up. Good for newbies. A nice user interface. You know what, guys? We need to focus on the revolution. We need to focus on being our own bank. Stop trusting all these other people. And you know what I find ironic, Bryce, is that JP Morgan talks the most freaking smack. Oh, crypto tokens lack value a month ago. Crypto's worthless, blah, blah, blah. What is he doing right now, Bryce? What just came out? He's filing a trademark or a copyright for his new crypto wallet. He's literally making a wallet right now. If crypto was worth nothing, why would he be doing it? That's why you have to stick in your convictions. If you liked Bitcoin and then you listened to him when he said it was worth nothing, now he's creating a crypto wallet. It was like he smacked you in the face.
You might have been a little bit early for you, but back in 2018, I want to say maybe summertime, into summer, if my recollection is correct.
Yes.
There was some stuff going on with China, with some China FUD happening, and then right after we've seen a price dip because of the China FUD at this time, and then Jamie Dimon is what a lot of us call him, came out from JP Morgan, came out and was talking trash about Bitcoin, while when the price dropped further, because he has enough influence to impact markets, especially a small market cap like Bitcoin compared to other stocks in the traditional legacy system. But what we saw on the back end was their banks were buying up Bitcoin.
Yes.
So he was literally driving the price of cryptocurrency down. And that's what a lot of these legacies. So the other thing that people got to take in consideration is a lot of what's happening. We've had the announcement of BlackRock getting involved in cryptocurrency. So BlackRock has the Aladdin bot, which is more than just a bot. It's an immense trading machine. It's some sort of AI creation that is in charge of like $22 trillion globally. It pretty much runs the Federal Reserve's trading and most of Wall Street and banks.
Wild.
It's possible that the algorithm, the AI had figured out all the problems in cryptocurrency and exposed them to bring prices down for the institutional investors to get a better buy-in price. I've seen that a lot of times with market action. When you're seeing price downward action going on in Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies going down significantly, you're usually seeing a over-the-counter buys happening between these institutional companies and such. So they're able to manipulate and take advantage. And I really feel like BlackRock being involved in crypto is obviously not a good thing. And that bot may have been able to see, like I said, the cracks in the system to be able to implode enough to get the price down enough to where their buddies, their clients and such would be able to partake in investing at lower prices. That's the best time that traditional stock market, any sort of, they say the best time to buy is when there's blood on the street.
Yep.
Even if it's your own blood.
Exactly. I think one of the first 3 TikToks I ever made back in 2020 was about JP Morgan and how he was being a hypocrite. And I was like, oh, crypto sucks. And then he was going and buying crypto. So he's been doing this back and forth thing for years now.
But JP Morgan's a part of the Ethereum Enterprise Alliance, which is a large conglomerate of companies.
And
They've had a blockchain for quite some time, their own private blockchain. So they have a JP Morgan coin that works internally. So they've been utilizing these technologies for quite a few years.
They're testing for CBDCs.
Well, that's different than your New York Fed.
Oh yeah, and that's happening now too. I was just going to bring that up.
New York Fed. I don't know how far it is for you. And
I don't know.
Stuff
Let's
like
look that up. Hold on.
But it would be cool to just go to when you take your microphone and be like, hey.
Oh my gosh! Wait, hold on. I'm googling it.
Let's talk New York Fed.
How far is this?
Because it is the New York Fed in conjunction with 12 banks, and I think MasterCard's involved.
Yes, MasterCard, BNY Mellon, all these.
Truist is involved, and I have a Truist. I'm not 100% sure if their actual headquarters is here in Winston-Salem, but they do have a big office. So I was going to try to find out. I was going to try to go up there and ask them, what information does your branch or does your office have regarding this test pilot of the digital dollar. Is there any way that I can look at anything? Is there any way that you can share information? Because I also want to know
That's so spicy.
what technologies you're using.
I see. Yeah, they're right. Like basically on Wall Street, like a few blocks away from where I was at the stock exchange. That's where the Fed. Oh my gosh, how did I miss this? It was right by. Is it right by Chick-fil-A? I think so. Wow. Okay, I know exactly where this is. I'm going.
That would be viral. You'd see, you got Gen Z walking up in there and saying, "Hey, look, you're screwing up my future, old people."
Yes, it's down the block from Chick-fil-A. Yes, I know exactly where this is. Guys, Chick-fil-A is the answer to everything. Track a Chick-fil-A. You'll find a financial building. This is great. You
should hold a festival. You should hold a Miss Teen Crypto Festival right outside of their door.
Oh my God, I would love to. When I was on Wall Street in the summer and I was like asking all these Wall Street bros about Bitcoin, they hated me. They didn't even want to talk to me. And they were so mean. They're so rude. These finance bros are exactly how they seem in the movies. You walk up to them, they're like, I was like, hi. And they would put their hands in my face. So mean. Oh. They're not nice.
They don't have Chick-fil-A in Sydney, Australia. Poor Australians.
Yeah, that's damn. Poor Australians. They don't know the luxuries of Chick-fil-A. I love Chick-fil-A. It's good. I mean, I think the chicken sandwich at Shake Shack is really good though. If I'm comparing them.
We don't have a Shake Shack here.
Oh, that's unfortunate. When you go somewhere that there's a Shake Shack, go get a Shake Shack chicken sandwich. Get some cheese fries. They're really good. They recently collaborated with Hot Ones. Have you ever seen Hot Ones?
Mm-mm.
Oh man, you gotta watch Hot Ones. It's a show on YouTube, and basically they invite celebrities and stuff to come on and eat chicken wings, and then every wing gets spicier, so it's like they're dying of heat. It's really funny. I want to go on there, but basically they collaborated with Hot Ones, and they made like this hot chicken sandwich and also a burger and fries, but it was so delicious. But I started sweating. I was like sitting there. I was like, oh my God. My face was turning colors. My dad and my sister were like, bro, you okay? I was like, yeah, just a little hot. But yeah, the chicken sandwiches are really good at Shake Shack.
Sweet.
Gotta give them props.
I have to remember that.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm heading to the Federal Reserve of New York. Gonna stop these CBDCs. I mean, listen, there's a lot happening in New York. Besides the Fed, you also have, the mayor that's pretty into crypto. So I don't know. I was recently just with the dude, and he was talking about Bitcoin, blockchain, and gaming and all that. So he knows what's coming. So it's really weird to see what's going to happen. We're going to have this weird divergence, and we have this New York bit license issue that needs to get solved. But hopefully, even with Ben Bitboy's legislation that he's working on, I hope that can help impact what's going on here, because he's pro peer-to-peer payments, pro DeFi. When he first was coming out with this bill, he even went to FTX, and Sam was like, yo, do you back this? And that's when this whole thing started, because Sam was holding his bill so he could fund an anti-BitBoy bill.
Well, okay, so I'm definitely pro what BitBoy is doing with the legislative end, trying to push through federal legislation. I know part of it is a creation of a subdivision of a current government agency that would be overseeing the crypto markets. It's about as far as I can go with that. But there's other verbiage and stuff that's involved with the legislation that they're raising money, because you basically got to grease politicians' hands in order to get politicians to do work for you. Yeah. Even though they're supposed to be public servants and they get a paycheck to do stuff, they got to get paid extra to do other things, especially if they're going to fight on your behalf. So you're greasing everybody's wheels. And so that's part of that game. But I'm a big fan of states' rights. So if they did pass something like this federally, and the Roe v. Wade situation is a very good comparison, because if they make a federal bit license that's positive for crypto, let's say, even if it's negative, the states don't have to enact it. The states individually can decide whether or not it's something that they accept in their legislation.
So I could still be a mess over here, yeah.
You still could be technically. But then at the same time, what you should be doing, because there's an onslaught of young voters now.
True.
So, and they're your age. So you should be trying to encourage people to vote for politicians that are going to push through positive legislation. Maybe you can help back a politician who wants to get rid of the strictness of the bit license and change it and modify it in a way that makes it more positive for the actual industry and for the growth of the industry in New York specifically.
Yeah,
I know that companies are afraid of New York because of that bit license.
I mean, I would be scared too. They're stifling innovation here. It's horrible to see. I mean,
and you're already interviewing politicians, and you're going to go to the Federal Reserve, so you're taking this to a whole nother level. So you should be supporting pro-crypto politicians.
I mean, I did have January Walker on, and I'm sad that she's not a New Yorker because, man, I would have registered to vote and everything just for her. It's just like, even with everything.
You might be grooming yourself for politics there, Miss Randi Jr.
Oh my gosh, no, I'm so scared of politics. It's like the worst job in the world.
Congresswoman MTC.
That's the worst job. I would be horrified to be in the government or any government
Senator
official
Randi
because
Jr., what are your thoughts on such and such?
I'm scared. I'm scared. Listen, I love what I do and I want to stick to this stuff. I'm so scared of being a politician. I think it's probably one of the worst jobs out there just because anything you do is going to get criticized, good or bad. And it's just like if you're not with one side, even I know January Walker was talking about it a little bit. She's neither Democrat nor Republican, and it's almost like she's on her own completely just because she's not giving in to one side or the other. I think that, to me, that's so weird because then I would have to pick a side. But what if I don't want any side? What if I just want to be me? What if I'm just a person that likes people and I want to do things by the people? Why do I have to pick? I'm a part of a party. I don't care about your parties.
Well, you get the right and the left wing of the same bird. So
who cares?
They don't want a third wing. They don't want any more competition. So by having a left and a right wing control everything, they work together to shape everything. So they're not always necessarily opposing one another. It may seem like that from an outside perspective. But again, you got two wings of the same bird. So you don't have 3 bird wings, 4 bird wings. The eagle is the representation of our country's bird.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
The right wing, the left wing, they don't want any other wings. So that's why you don't see third parties, the Green Party, the Libertarians, any of these independent candidates really make any headway. It's very, very
It's so unfortunate. I hate it so much. It bothers me. I can't handle it. There was one show that I thought was interesting, and I forgot what it's called because it's literally the same thing as the term in real life, where the meeting where they all go to the Capitol and they leave one survivor, one person from the government outside of the Capitol while every government official goes in for that meeting. And then in the show, they blew up the Capitol. Everyone in the government was dead. The president, Congress, everyone was dead, and except for this one survivor, and he was an independent. And the way it all happened, I was like, wow, it really opened my eyes to what if someone else took over that wasn't Democrat or Republican and just had their ideas that they wanted to put out there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It really made me think. Digi No Assets, $10 super chat. Thank you so much. Mwah. MTC campaign donation. Don't spend these campaign funds on wings. No promises, bro. You know what? Tell me what I should do with it. If you want me to buy Bitcoin with it, then I'll do that. See, guys, if you do a super chat or anything like that,
campaign.
You see a little thing.
It's for you running for public office.
I need to stack some Bitcoin so that way that $10 appreciates. That $10 is gonna depreciate in value by the time I could run for anything.
You can get the mayor. You can be chilling with the mayor and get him to basically groom you to be his predecessor, so that whenever he has to end his term, you can then run and you're going to get his endorsement and everything.
But then wouldn't that lead to me picking a side?
So that's how politics works.
That's so dicey for me. I literally cannot.
I know politics is such a dirty game. I don't think
it's disgusting. Yeah, I rather them call me like they kind of do, and they're like, "Hey, you want to hang out, speak, talk about crypto?" Frick yeah, I'm all about it. And again, I don't care which side of it's on. If he wasn't a Democrat, if he was a Republican, I don't care. If anyone wants to hang out with me, wants to talk about crypto, spread this good message, I will do that gladly, 100%. Being a part of the government is a totally different thing. I do appreciate Digi giving me some campaign funds. He said I should buy Zesty wings with it. See, that I can do. No problemo. I love wings. I love wings. Really? Yes.
I like boneless wings. I'm not a big fan of meat on bones.
See, I understand that. I'm a boneless person too, but I love wings. I came home, what was it, Saturday night? By yesterday, I had wings. 2 nights ago. The day after I came home, I had wings and pizza. My favorite thing.
Did you get wings in Jamaica?
I didn't, and you know what? We didn't go off the the resort thing because we were just lazy. But the last time I went, like 6 years ago, I went to Rick's Cafe, and Rick's Cafe in Jamaica. It has awesome wings, and it has a little cliff that you could jump off. That's like 30, 40 feet in the air. It was great.
Into
I did
the
it.
ocean?
Yeah. I love jumping off
cool.
cliffs. I really want to go bungee jumping, but like not where they hold your feet, because sometimes like they have like new ones that you could like put around like your waist and stuff like that. I want to just run and jump off a cliff and just swing. Whee!
I could do it on a bridge.
Like
I'm not
not
sure
a
about
cliff.
a cliff. No, I'm not sure about it. I mean, the cliff would have to be really, really, like, I'd have to really know that I wasn't going to snap back and hit a rock or the side of the cliff or some sort of weird jerk that's going to like just splatter me. But the bridge thing, I think, especially with water and it being a tall bridge, I think would be a really cool experience. Like kind of coming really close to the water, like almost like you feel like you're going to like get wet, and then you just get thrown right back up.
He's like, they get their hands wet. Oh, so Matthew in the chat, designated survivor. That's what I was talking about. Yes. That's what I was talking about. But yeah, I want to jump off a cliff. I want to go skydiving. All of that. I'm like waiting until the moment that I have the opportunity, and I'm going. I will go. There's a few things I watch on TikTok where they actually do like all this bungee jumping stuff. I think it's so cool. I love watching it. People are so scared. They're like, don't let me go. Me, I'd cut the thing off myself. I've done something close to it. It was like, it used to be in Coney Island. It used to be called the Boardwalk Flight. They used to strap you up. And I went with my sister once, and then this girl that I used to hang out with, I used to take 3 of them, and they lift you up 3 stories in the air, and then I had to pull the trigger myself. So imagine I was like a little wussy, and I was scared of that. I'd be stuck up there. But yeah, like it was so fun. I used to be like, guys, you guys ready? And they're like, no. Done. Fly. Amazing. We'll never forget it. Absolutely loved it. But I love the adrenaline rush and wings.
I can tell. You got super excited talking about it too.
I like parasailing, jumping off cliffs, zip lining. I've been on zip lines where
you're like an adrenaline addict. It sounds like an adrenaline junkie.
When I have the moments like where I'm like, listen, what do I do? Like I'm at my desk all day. I'm like crypto nerd. This is what I do all day. When I leave my house, it's time to party. Like, like it's time to adventure, see the world. Can't regret stuff. Like one time I went ziplining. It was like I think 1,100 feet in the air, and they're like, "Does anyone want to go upside down?" I was like really young at the time. I was the only person that did it. It was probably one of the best experiences ever. Just hanging upside down, going on a zip line. Like that's so sick. Who wouldn't want to do that? I would have regretted it if I didn't.
Well, I'm glad that you did it.
Yeah, good experiences. I really love that.
I mean, it's good to be able to go outside of the box and experience life and figure out what your personal limits are.
Yeah. It's interesting. Limits.
Yeah.
It's just like proof I'm alive, Just jumping.
Like I'm definitely like I have an issue with heights, but it's a weird, it's not like it's every, like, it just depends. Like where I'm at, like I've been on several different like hotel roof parties, different like penthouse parties where there's like huge balconies at 20, 30 floors up. I don't like to get super close to the edges, but I don't mind like looking and being around. Sometimes when I'm watching movies and there's some like really crazy action going on, it's like up in heights. I'll notice. I'll get some anxiety in my belly. Yes,
I know exactly what you're talking about. You know what I get anxiety over? Small spaces. I cannot. When I see people like
claustrophobic.
Yeah, I'm so claustrophobic. Like when, like I'm like okay.
Well, you're already small enough. I mean, shit. A small space for you is like
no, it's not okay. My dad was watching this gold show. The Curse of Oak Island, I think it was called. And sometimes like they send like because they're trying to dig for gold or whatever. One guy went down this little pipe and he was like this, and I couldn't breathe watching it. And I see like videos on TikTok of people going in caves and they're like going like worming around just so they could fit in a crevice. And I'm like, what are you doing? I get so anxious. I can't watch it.
I have been caving before, and that's pretty wild.
No, like you can't breathe in there. Like
spelunking. No, it depends on the caves. There was one in West Virginia it was kind of sealed up, but it was supposedly used during the slavery times, like underground railroad type situation. So that was pretty interesting. It's kind of historical in that aspect, but there was a couple different areas where I was crawling in small areas. I remember one particular area, and I wouldn't be able to fit in there now, but I had to go underneath of a rock through a tunnel with water to get to the other side. That was pretty scary, but backing out of it wasn't the funnest experience. But
no,
you definitely got to try things though to figure out what your limits are.
All right, so I'm going to go find a small hole in the cave and try to crawl through it, get to the other side, and we'll see how it all goes.
But you have a whole underground in New York, so you could definitely explore.
Those undergrounds are filled with dogs.
Are they?
Otherwise known as rats.
Oh, you call the New York rats dogs?
Because they're the size of dogs.
Huge? Wow.
Yes, they're so big, they're so fat. It's like they're so fat that they could barely walk. They're like waddling out here. They eat good.
If you could train them, you could take them to the New York Fed.
Send it to the Fed. Be like, your snacks are in there, bro. Go eat them. And then the money.
Piper lead all the New York dogs over to the New York Fed.
Oh my gosh. I'll be like, go smell for the money printer.
For sure.
Yes. It's like that. You remember that mouse that went viral and it was like a New York mouse that was eating a slice of pizza? Like, we'll just throw like a bunch of pizzas in the building. I'll be like, go get them, boys. And that's it. They'll eat the money printer.
Would be what they deserve.
Yeah, they'll eat the money printer. They'll chew up their wires so that way all their memory gets lost. They can't create the CBDCs. They're done, bro. Done.
Breaking news. Young lady breaks into the New York Federal Reserve with a horde of New York dog rats. It's really
true.
I could just see it.
I could see it too. There's one guy actually that dresses up as a rat. I posted a video with him once.
The Pied Piper of crypto, Miss King Crypto.
Yeah, dude, that's so funny. There's one guy that actually dresses up as a rat and he like goes and like jumps on things and people. It's really funny. I interviewed him once. He is a fan of Bitcoin. He just went and like did this thing with his ear. It was actually hilarious. But yeah, I'll send him in with me. He'll lead the way. He'll like be like, all right, guys. He'll be like the Ratatouille of it all, just leading all the other rats and telling them where to go. It's great. Wow, we've been here for so long. Wait, Rice, where can everyone find you? And speak from the heart. What's one message you would like to share with our audience today to give us hope for life? It could be about bungee jumping. It could be about Chick-fil-A chicken sandwiches or the future of crypto, whatever your heart desires.
Well, I like to end my videos in saying 4 things, which is be a blessing to others, treat people how you want to be treated, be the glitch that you want to see in the matrix, be the change you want to see in the world. I have this thing I call practice change, which is my philosophy of being the change that I want to see in the world. So I encourage people to be the change that they want to see individually. And the more of us that do that, the more of us that can set these examples for others, the more get involved in being the change, the more that we can actually change the world.
That's so beautiful, Rice. You're a beautiful person. I know I said that before, but I really do mean it. And you're at Rice TVx everywhere, right? Because I just put your YouTube and your tweeters in the live chat, and there's more in the bio of the video.
My like I said, I have 2 YouTube channels, so I encourage people to, especially if you're into the content that's outside of the crypto economic realm, make sure you're checking out Rice Against the Grain.
Yes, subscribe to this one. I'm putting it in the chat right now.
And if you go to ricetvx.com, you can sign up for my mailing list so you stay updated with everything going on, because I'm dealing with a lot of censorship and shadow banning. So if I can inform people directly about what's happening, it helps. So sign up for my mailing list. And then once you do that, you'll see links for all my social media. You'll see links for both my YouTube channels. You'll see links for my Rumble, Odyssey channels, and my Patreon if you want to support me directly.
That's beautiful. I love it. Guys, please follow Rice, subscribe, catch him all the time. We just did an interview last week, 2 weeks ago on his channel. That was really great. We had such a deep conversation. I loved it so much. And I got to have you back again soon. This hour absolutely flew by. I can't even believe it. I looked at the clock and I was like, holy sheesh. We have so much more. We oh my God. I feel like we talked about everything, but we talked about nothing. It's like one of those feelings. But thank you guys so much for coming today. Every single one of you. So much love. I'm going to try to do another show throughout the week. week. I'm going to get spicy with things next week, so watch out for that. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. Rice, thank you again for joining me. If you guys are still here, please like, subscribe, and share it out with friends. After this is over, please comment. I'm begging you, comment. Tell us what you think about CBDCs, whether you like chicken sandwiches, whether you're bone-in or a boneless chicken wing person. Let me know.
And what your plans are for Thanksgiving. And I also want to wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving out there.
Yes, guys, if I don't see you again, happy Thanksgiving. I'm going to try to do another show this week, but if stuff doesn't work out, then I'm going to see you next week. Maybe I'll do a Thanksgiving special. I don't know. I'm just saying things out loud. And DJ Johnny is saying Daily Zest in the chat, guys. If you want to see the weekly Zest become the Daily Zest, comment that after this video. I would really love your feedback. I'd appreciate it so much. Bulldog, shout out to you guys. Thank you for my members for coming back and supporting me. Thank you for the super chats today. Thank you for all the love, all the support. I love every single one of you. Have an amazing day, a fantastic Tuesday, and as always, stay zesty. Peace.
Stay zesty.
You're